Hi Year 8. Okay, so this tutorial is going to help you with your homework, which is to draw this eye on black paper using a white pencil. The first thing I've done is I've gridded this up for you and put it on Teams for you. And the first thing you're going to need to do is count the number of boxes going along, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know that on my piece of paper I need 8 boxes going along and 12 going down. Now how I'm going to do that is by first of all measuring the top of my piece of paper, which is around 15 centimeters, and I need 8 boxes. So if I divide 15 by 8, I get 1.8. Going down my page is 21 centimeters, and I know that I need 12 boxes. So if I divide 21 by 12, I get 1.75. Now I'm going to choose between these two, or I could average it out or something like that. But because of the nature of this image, I've got a lot of black down here. So I could afford to probably lose a bit of that box on the bottom there. I wouldn't really want to lose one of my side boxes. So I'm going to go with 1.8 and then that will work just fine for me. So I'm going to measure now all the way along so that I get my right amount of boxes. Okay, and there we've got our gridded up piece of paper. I've just realised you could probably have rounded it up to 2 centimetres. That would be okay. You would probably still fit it all in. You might just lose a little bit of the side of the eye, but it's not a problem. So each of my boxes is 1.8, or you could round it up to 2. And I'm going to number my boxes first. You'll notice when I drew my grid, I pressed really lightly so that I can remove my grid once I've done my drawing. We don't want to see that. And then I'm going to put the alphabet going down. Some things that just to remind you of your numbering or lettering the actual box itself, not the line. Okay, so that's really important to remember. Okie dokie. So the first thing I'm going to do is start drawing some of the things in. You can, of course, do it how you prefer to do it, but that's just how I'm going to mark it out. So the first thing I'm going to look at is where the light areas meet the dark areas. So I can see that the top of the eyebrow, I'll show you this on here, the top of the eyebrow is pretty much in line with this line here on the second box down. So I'm going to plot that in first, and then it starts to go down around here. So that's 1, 2, 3 down. I've got that diagonal line there. So that's what I'm noticing first. I'm going to start there and hopefully that helps you. So 1, 2, 3 boxes down. Actually on that third box is a little bit of the eyebrow, and then it comes down like this. And I'm not going to draw very much in because a lot of this is going to be shaded. And then I'm going to mark in that that is where the top of the eyebrow is there. Now the bottom of the eyebrow, so the eyebrow takes up one whole box and a little bit more of another box, and that is going to come in around here. Now if I go back to this first box here, I can see a little bit comes into this box here, and then we're going along to here, and then we're going along to here. Remember what I was saying about plotting in from where it comes into the box to where it comes out of the box, where it comes into the box and where it comes out of the box, and marking that in there. So that whole bit of eyebrow there, especially over to this side, is going to be really dark, which means it's just going to be the paper. So I'm going to really have to rub out my grid there. Now the eye itself, underneath the eyebrow, which is this part here where I've just drawn this in, this part here is this white kind of triangle shape here. I'm now going to mark in where this line is here. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down is where it starts, or A, B, C, D, E. It starts on here, and the third box along. So if I go back to mine, the third box along in E is where we said the line is going to come around. Oops, 1, 2. Come here. And I've got my finger on the picture so that I can follow it along where it's coming in the box and out of the box. There. So that whole shape there is shaded, but it does get a little bit darker, I should say, lighter. I've flipped it around in my head. There we go. And that's going to come down to here. So I'm kind of plotting in these things first, and then I'm just going to really shade everything out. So the eye, I can't see what happens there because that all turns into eyelashes. Now the pupil itself, I'm going to draw a circle around the pupil, and that is in box 1, 2, 3, 4 going across, 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. Going down is A, B, C, D, E, F. Am I in F? Nope, so I've got to go 1 up, and it starts in F, but it creeps down into the bottom one, and it comes to the edge of here, quite a bit bigger, around here. I obviously want that to be perfect circle. So again, I'm going to have to do lots of rubbing out there because I'm going to be shading everything. The edge of the iris is here. Well, once you've got this, a lot of this drawn in, you'll realise there's not really much work to do because most of the picture is black, and that has all been done for you. So the only bit you've really got to do are the white shapes, which you might find actually having the image without the grid helps you with the actual white shapes. Okay, so there we go. I've got the actual majority of it marked out. Now I've got to look at where is it really light, and that's where I'm going to start to plot in and shade now. And it's a good idea to always press light first until you're happy with certain things, and you can push in harder when you're confident with where things are. The tricky part is with your pencil not to put a hard line around anything. You only want the drawing to be made up of block shapes so that it looks as realistic as you can, and the temptation is to draw a hard line around everything when you're working in this way. So I'm going to fade that out. Okay, so that is coming along. I might just make my pupil a bit bigger. Use my rubber. Thing to remember with this drawing is to make sure that your pupil is a perfect circle and it is in the middle of your iris, which is hopefully a perfect circle. Making sure that this distance here is the same as this distance here and here and here, remembering that it's in the middle. Okay, lots more to do. Let's crack on. So for this, I think I spoke to some of you last lesson about a feathered edge. So you can draw a line like this, or you can draw a line like this. This is what we would call a feathered edge, where it goes to a point rather than doing this. Okay, so I'm going to use that technique now to do the eyebrow. And I've got lots more of it here. I can do with sharpening this as well. Okay, eyelashes, and then I'm going to call it there, I think. Could do with rubbing out all the grid here as well. We don't want to show the tools that we've used. I want to get rid of that at the end. Remember, the grid is a guide. It's a guide to help you, and if you can do most of it from observing, then do that. But the grid is there to support you should you need it. Sure about that eyebrow. Bring skin in more. So the next part, eyelashes. Only draw what you see. Don't make up anything that isn't really there. So I'm just doing these light lines. Now here, really they're black, but I'm not going to be able to rub that out to a really thin line. I have got a putty rubber, which might work. Take off a bit here as well. So I've talked to you a bit about a putty rubber. It's a bit like a big bit of blue tack. It's not sticky though, it doesn't stick things to the wall, even though my daughter has tried. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to. You could potentially draw those in with a fine liner. I'm thinking about adding a bit of gel pen and maybe a black pen or a biro or something. If you wanted to put those in, you could try that. A bit of a mixed media. Okay, but there we have it. I'm going to just finish up now, and I hope this tutorial has helped you. Okay.